desperate, but men don't communicate like
Oh, you're saying because Chad called me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know he was.
No,
I didn't know he was that far gone.
He didn't communicate the condition that he was in last.
Well, I knew he was hurting. I mean, he was choking back tears when he was talking to me that day.
It's too bad you didn't get a clue.
Well, I did. I just didn't know it was.
That's
I didn't know he was like
suicidal.
suicidal. And Chad was never that guy. You know, he never threatened it. He'd never said, you know, comments like that. You know, I talked to Dottie recently.
Yeah.
I told you that.
Mother's still okay? Dad?
Mom and Dad are doing fine. They're slow. She was telling me that Haas is. This was funny listening to this story. You know, they live. You hadn't. Oh yeah, you've been to their house. Remember? Yeah, we're halfway between outside of Albuquerque up there, down in the Tules where you'd expect. And oh, I got to have Cindy play back the little speech that I did at Shane's wedding. Told the Lyndon Haas story. It was hard for me to get up. I didn't tell my whole speech, but that was the part I did share. But anyways, Dottie was telling me on the phone a week or so ago when I talked to her. So she's lost her brother. She's lost her husband. She lost her daughter. And Mom and Dad are doing okay. You know, which Haas should have been gone years ago. And I guess he's getting his house ready for when he's wheelchair bound because he's not getting around very well. So he's putting in ramps for wheelchairs and stuff like that. I go, well, if he's getting ready for a wheelchair, how is he doing all this work? And well, he does a little bit at a time, and I'm like, well, that's probably the best thing in the world for him.
He's got a goal.
And probably once it's done, he'll kick off. Yeah, but yeah, she just bought a place, moved from her house.
Linda's not had this life easy because of him.
Oh, no. Well, she's had her brushes with some health issues a few years back. Since the time you and I said, you know, it was 2008 when you and I drove out there for Chad's funeral?
Was it 2008?
Nine. It was 9. It was a year and a half after Stephen. Which shocked me because when I told him, he started crying. He wrote a poem. Chad did. Chad was artistic. He drew. He
was such a cute little baby. Boy.
Yep. Yeah.
He was always a good little kid. With me.
Well,
He was an angel.
well, that's because his dad would have.
Yeah, killed him.
Chad, I'm gonna put my foot up your ass, boy. Stuff like, you know, I spent
He was mean.
weeks. Oh, I know. And you know what? I picked up at when we went out there for Chad's thing. I picked up some of that in conversation that Haas and I had. He didn't say it directly, but he was expressing some regrets in how hard he was on it with him. And I love Lyndon Haas. You know that.
Yeah, he should fix it. I mean, I'm glad in the way he realizes what he did.
Yeah.
Because I think if we hadn't been so hard on the kid, he might still be alive.
Yeah, it's hard to get that old school Texan off the ranch kind of, you know, what was he, one of 6 brothers or something like that? Speaking of Haas,
Yeah.
you know,
Story.
it was just part of his persona. You know, the big man, big blue eyes, big old Texan.
It's not like he wasn't loved, because she really cared for the boss.
Oh, but to her dying day, for sure. Which they're both still around, so.
Well,
Yeah.
let's see, I think they're about 10 years younger than
Yeah, I'm guessing.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Dottie and I are both 56. Yeah, it was when we our last conversation. I was driving. You know, when I drive these, you know, to Santa Barbara or whatever, I have an hour to kill, and so.
Okay, he's right here. Got the table up here.
Oh.
We were going to play our games up here.
Oh yeah.
That's why we put the lamp from the office in here. With the room is dark with all the lamps on, even except so we brought that one in and it really helped. So Linda and I played a game last night.
Yeah.
It was about 3